Middlesex took a big step closer to securing a very important LV County Championship victory over Hampshire at Lords, which will keep the home side amongst the title chasers. Their first job on the penultimate morning of this match was to add to their first innings lead, which stood at 122 at the start of play. 20 more had been put on when Toby Rowland-Jones was yorked by Jackson Bird for 14, the total on 318 for 9. Ollie Rayner was to have a good day, starting it with 34 runs to his name. He made it to a 50 off a very patient 146 balls, from which he'd struck 4 fours, that being his latest. His 3-hour knock had done enough to put his side into a very strong position. He was out in the same Bradley wheel over, the 18-year-old finishing with the fine figures of 4 for 101 from 27 overs. He will certainly remember fondly his time at the home of cricket. So Middlesex, on 113 for 5 at one point, made 330, and that had them 154 runs ahead of their opponents. Jimmy Adams avoided a pair, but he would have known that he was going to have to bat for a very long time if his side were going to avoid a 4th defeat of the season. A good start is what he and Sean Terry needed to produce, and they did at least manage to knock off 44 runs before another mini collapse ruined the work of the openers. James Harris now has more wickets than anyone in the First Division this season. This was his 46th and certainly not earned with the best ball he's produced all summer, but Adams was on his way for 28. Harris was soon joining Chris Rushworth at the top of the First Division wicket-taking charts when he had the out-of-form Michael Carberry taken behind in a more conventional manner. And Harris was at the top by himself when he flattened James Vince's off-stump in his next over, a wicket which left Hampshire on 56 for 3. They were facing an innings defeat inside 3 days, and that may have happened had Terry not battled as hard as he did. These were rare moments of aggression in a knock which showed off the batsman's defensive abilities, which were very much to the fore. Terry took 153 balls in making his half-century, an innings containing 6 fours. He had by now been at the crease for nearly 3.5 hours, seeing out 50 overs. How his team needed him to stick it out for a while longer yet, though. Alas for him, he was out for 52. Tim Murtagh reminding everyone of his talents by trapping Terry in front. He on his way with a total on 106 for 4, and the deficit standing at 48. There are 2 ways to go from a position like that. Either you bat as Terry did, or you play your shots, which is the way that Adam Wheater always seems to go. He believed that he could still turn this game around if he remained positive. He had his side 10 runs ahead when he lost Will Smith at the other end for 30. Murtagh with the catch off a very thick edge, which brought an end to Smith's 3 hours of battling. Wheater completed a 44-ball 50 at the start of the next over, but then made it 2 in 2 balls for Rayner, who threw in a much quicker delivery to win an LBW. And Rayner soon grabbed a 3rd wicket. Joe Gatting bowled for 4, leaving it to Gareth Berg and Danny Briggs to see out the final half an hour to keep their side going until the final day. Hampshire will begin that on 195 for 7 for a lead of just 41 runs, and Middlesex have a new ball which is only 4 overs old. They will hope to confirm their 4th win of the campaign probably before lunch on the final day, a victory which will keep them right in touch with Yorkshire and Durham above them in the table.